In the wake of Sunday's mass shooting, we are seeing passionate calls for gun control. Good evening, everyone. I'm Shannon Ogden.
And I'm Ann Trujillo. Thank you for joining us. Late night talk show hosts Jimmy Kimmel and Stephen Colbert, they weren't shy about their opinions in their monologues. And tonight, gun rights advocates are pushing back.
Denver 7's Lance Hernandez is digging into this. Lance, obviously, very strong feelings all around here.
You know, some people argue, Shannon, that banning certain guns or limiting access to weapons will lessen the likelihood of mass shootings. Others argue that no laws could have stopped what happened in Las Vegas. Late night hosts are weighing in, asking why should anyone have a gun that can fire armor-piercing bullets?
This morning, we have children without parents.
An emotional Jimmy Kimmel speaking out against gun violence. Las Vegas is his hometown.
Because when someone with a beard attacks us, we tap phones, we invoke travel bans, we build walls, we take every possible precaution to make sure it doesn't happen again. But when an American buys a gun and kills other Americans, then there's nothing we can do about that.
Stephen Colbert was more measured.
This afternoon, the president called this an act of pure evil, and I think he's right. So what then are we willing to do to combat pure evil? The answer can't be nothing.
It's natural to want to do something, take some kind of action, but gun rights advocates say more laws aren't the answer. They say criminals will always find a way to get a gun. Gun shop owner Robert Parker says the Second Amendment already has more restrictions placed on it than any other.
Most gun owners don't mind going through a background check. In a lot of states like California, New York, Washington, D.C., there are even more restrictions on people's gun rights. And I think at a certain point, you just have to say enough is enough.
The head of Rocky Mountain Gun Owners told Denver 7 that no gun control laws would have stopped the Las Vegas shooter. He said that won't stop gun control advocates from trying to strip constitutional freedoms from a growing number of Americans. His website includes this post stating assault is a behavior, not a device.
And I also asked the gun shop owner what he thinks the solution is. He said you can't lump all gun violence into one group. He said most deaths from gun violence are a result of gang violence. He said mental health is part of the equation, but there's no one single solution. Shannon?
Colorado's gun laws are similar to Nevada's with a few key differences. After the Aurora Theater shooting, Colorado required a more extensive background check on all gun purchases. In Nevada, voters approved universal background checks, but the state attorney general has put that on hold. Also, Colorado lawmakers passed a magazine capacity limit of 15. There is no limit in Nevada.
We wanted to know how much the gun lobby has contributed to our congressional representatives. According to Politico, just in 2016, Ken Buck took almost $15,000 from gun advocacy groups. Scott Tipton took about $25,000, and Mike Kaufman received the most of any Colorado Republican, taking close to $31,000 from gun advocates last year. The NRA did not contribute to any of Colorado's Democratic reps.
Christopher Roybal, an Afghanistan war veteran, is one of those 59 people who died in Las Vegas. He lived in Metro Denver. He was working to start at Crunch Fitness in Aurora.
He would take a bad mood that you had and you would just laugh all day.
I felt like it brought out the best in me anytime I was around him.
Roybal served 4 tours in the Middle East, and just 2 months ago, he wrote this chilling Facebook post describing what it's like to be shot at. This is a quote from that. The anger stays long after your friends have died, the lives you've taken are buried, and your boots are placed neatly in a box in some storage unit. It's a nightmare, he says, that no amount of drugs, no amount of therapy, no amount of drunk talks with your war buddies will ever be able to escape.
Las Vegas officials say they have now identified all but 3 of the 59 people who were killed in Sunday's attack. And tonight, as we have seen so many times in recent weeks, there is an overwhelming amount of love and support for those victims. The official Vegas Victims Fund has raised close to $4 million. The original goal was $2 million. And Bond Fees tells us they have seen a significant rise in the number of blood donations. Almost 500 people donated blood just yesterday. That's up almost 50% from 2016. And there will be a vigil in support of all those victims tomorrow night at Denver's City Park. That starts at 7 o'clock. And our coverage continues 24/7 on the free Denver 7 app. We've posted new information about how the gunman prepared for this horrifying attack.
Well, just into the newsroom, Puerto Rico's governor says the death toll from Maria has doubled from 16 to 34.
And this comes after unusual remarks from President Trump today. He compared the relatively low death toll from Maria to what he called a real catastrophe such as Hurricane Katrina, which killed more than 1,800 people.
A news alert tonight from Wheat Ridge Police. They are asking for your help to find this man right here. His name is Tino Quintana. Police believe he kicked in a person's door overnight, threatened them with a gun, may have even fired several shots. Now, nobody was hurt, but police tell us this woman, Frances Romero, may be traveling with Quintana, and she could be in danger. Please, if you see them, either one of them, call 911.
The special session at the state legislature, it was a bust. Lawmakers didn't pass anything to fix a pot tax loophole, and as a result, special districts like RTD will continue to miss out on millions in funding they should have received. Now, the House did pass a fix, but then it died at the hands of Senate Republicans. So today, Senate President Kevin Grantham, a Canyon City Republican, he said, quote, more bipartisan consultation and pre-planning was needed to improve our chance of success. He says Governor Hickenlooper plowed ahead anyway without adequately laying the groundwork for success.
Colorado Senators Michael Bennet and Cory Gardner are working together to fund health insurance for low-income children across the country. Over the weekend, funding for the CHIP program expired. Now, that program provides insurance to millions of children across the country, including 90,000 in Colorado. And our state only had money to fund that program through January, and other states could run out before then. Now, Gardner and Bennett said today, no reason to waste time with bipartisan bickering when children are at risk of losing their health care.
Denver city leaders, they are considering a facelift on the 16th Street Mall. It would be the first major change in more than 3 decades.
Denver 7's Jason Grenauer, he's on the mall tonight to break it all down. So, Jason, things could change a little, or they could change a lot here.
Yes, because one of those options actually involves doing nothing and leaving the 16th Street Mall just the way it is right now. But the other 3 options laid out today by the City Planning Department and RTD do involve some major changes. So we laid them all out for you. I did some arts and crafts this afternoon to show you. Let's start with option 1. It basically moves the bus lanes in. You would walk where the current buses drive now. Then leave room for some trees, benches, and other kind of things along the side. Option 2, probably the biggest change of them all. 2 bus lanes right down the middle, no median, leaving some room for some space for other things, and then walking along both sides. Option 3, then just the same as option 2, only shifting that bus lane over. So we are talking major changes, multi-million-dollar changes. The simple question in revealing all of these options is why?
It's got increasing maintenance costs while at the same time having way more users than it ever did back then. So we want to both look at it from a practical standpoint, as well as we want to make it a better place for people. We want to improve the design overall to make the mall an even more successful public place.
And you talk about needed infrastructure changes. This is just one section of the mall. All these pavers gone, covered up by asphalt, and they have to do this each and every year. That's one of the reasons they're looking at making some major changes. Now, this is very early on in the process, revealing these 3 and then 4, the 4th option, doing nothing. The next step, public meetings a little bit later on this month, then trying to secure the actual funding for this. So nothing actually is going to change, at least majorly down here, at least for a calendar year. But the process, that ball is now rolling until eventually, possibly, a shovel goes into the ground here along the 16th Street Mall. I'm reporting live tonight. Jason Grenauer, Denver 7.
Keep us up to date, Jason. Thank you. If you had a Yahoo email account before 2013, yep, it was hacked. That news came out this afternoon. We knew the company was breached, but originally Yahoo told us only about 1 billion accounts were affected, and now we know that 3 billion accounts were hacked. Victims of the hack had their name, email address, password, birthday, and phone number stolen. Credit card numbers and social security numbers are apparently safe, according to the company.
The CEO of Equifax testified on Capitol Hill today and admitted his company did not encrypt social security numbers and names that were stolen this year. He also could not rule out that another country is responsible for the breach, which compromised the data of more than 145 million Americans. And just before that hearing, Equifax was awarded a contract to help the IRS prevent identity fraud. That deal's worth $7 million. The IRS says that Equifax is the only company capable of providing this kind of security.
It is the state's most powerful position, yet it is also, relatively speaking, one of the poorest paying jobs in the country.
And tonight, Denver 7 investigates what we pay our governor. Chief investigative reporter Tony Kowaleski is here with a preview review report. Of course, $90 grand to a lot of people is a lot of money.
It is a lot of money. This is a think piece for everybody tonight. Bottom line, Governor Hickenlooper is a self-made millionaire, so that salary has really no impact on his lifestyle. But the purpose of our investigation is to question the people of Colorado. On the streets, we tested people to see if they could guess the governor's salary by paying the 49th lowest governor's salary in the country. Has Colorado made it difficult for the common man or woman to run for the state's top office? Are we making it so that you must be a millionaire or financially flush to run for governor? So you think the governor makes more than Trevor Story?
I do, absolutely.
Governor Hickenlooper, the lowest paid.
Governor Hickenlooper? Wow, I wouldn't have guessed.
We usually do stories on politicians making too much money or hiding bonuses, and now I'm talking to you about why you're making so little.
And then part of me is I'm secretly a little bit proud because I've been on the other side of that investigative story where it's something that I did, that I didn't respond quickly enough or didn't know about something. You're right, this is a true irony that now I'm sitting in the chair and the investigative reporter is actually making me feel kind of proud in maybe a little disadvantaged, but more proud.
Proud and laughing. Well, here are a couple of interesting comparisons. Denver's Mayor Michael Hancock makes nearly double the governor's pay, and the CEO of Denver's Water annual salary and bonuses, they exceed $600,000. So tonight at 10, we ask Colorado voters if they are pricing out the common person, the common man, the common woman from running for governor. Shannon?
Tony, thanks. Would not miss that tonight.
See you at 10.
The Rockies have arrived in Arizona, and 24 hours from now, they'll be fighting in a one-game playoff showdown with the Diamondbacks. So we're live in the desert next.
Plus, you have to make a quick choice. Crash into a river or another car? We talked to the man who had to make that decision this morning.
Well, we had some sun earlier, but now the clouds have come back into the metro area. Your evening outlook, mostly cloudy skies, cool but quiet. Temperatures dropping off into the upper 40s by 9 o'clock. Coming up when we get the sun and the 70s.
It's Rocktober 3rd.
Rocktober, isn't it? Yeah.
Yeah, we're
it's time
ready.
to go, guys.
Definitely.
Back to work for the Rockies today in the Valley of the Sun. The day before the National League wildcard game, the Rockies hit the field at Chase Field, getting ready for, did you mention Rocktober? That's right. Against the D-backs tomorrow night. Denver 7 sports anchor Allison Mastrangelo is right there with them, live at Chase Field. And Allison, you talked live with manager Buddy Black at 5, gave him a high five, very nice, but now let's hear from the players.
Yeah, so the guys are just wrapping up their batting practice behind me. And for a lot of these guys, this is their first time in the postseason. So while they're nervous and excited, they also say they're finding time to kind of soak in this moment.
I think this is a time to enjoy baseball. This is what it's about. This is what you dream about when you're a kid. I don't think this is a time to be putting lots of pressure on myself. I imagine, the atmosphere of the game will allow me to lock in and find that next level of focus.
This is something I've been looking forward to pretty much my whole life, and it's just another game of baseball. I think it means a lot more than obviously every other game.
Yeah, one game obviously makes it a little bit tougher, but that's the position we're in. We know we got to go out. It's Game 7 right away, and that's okay. That's the way it is, and like I said, we'll be ready.
Now the roof is closed, but it's still really hot in here. It's about 95 degrees. You can kind of see me sweating a little bit. But Blackman also told me that he would love to bring postseason baseball back to Colorado. It would be amazing for the baseball fans, but he says for now he's just focused on beating the Diamondbacks. We're live at Chase Field. Allison Mastrangelo, Denver 7.
All right, Allison, thanks. Tonight we'll hear more from Nolan Arenado. Allison went one-on-one with the interview MVP candidate, talking about his first postseason game, so that's tonight at 10. The Broncos are still practicing during the bye week. They'll be off Thursday through Sunday, but today Broncos insider Troy Rank caught up with A.J. Derby talking red zone scoring, or lack thereof. 0 for 4 Sunday, only 2 touchdowns in the last 2 games, something they got to fix this week.
Yeah, I think we got to stop having those penalties and hurting ourselves and getting ourselves in third and longs in the goal. We just got to keep working, keep getting better, and we'll get that done through the bye week.
That part we're going to fix. We're going to spend more time on red zone. We're going to, apply more detail and focus there as coaches and players, and we'll fix that. But the concepts are there, and running the football is there. It's just more self-inflicted wounds.
I guess we're going to hear a lot about that until the next game. Red zone. Red zone. Write it down.
Hang on.
Yeah.
Got it. All right. Thank you, Lionel. And Chief Meteorologist Mike Nelson, he's tracking our first alert forecast. We're warming up, Mike.
We're going to get there, but at first, a couple of cool-looking clouds. Look at this cool shot from Loveland Ski Area today. The clouds filtering into the valley, the snow up above, a beautiful shot. In the Denver area, we've had a lot of gray skies. Broke some sunshine briefly this afternoon, but now those clouds have filled back in. And it's been a cool day today, but conditions are indeed going to warm up. 57 right now at the airport, 53 downtown, 44% humidity, rising pressure, winds from the east at 14. We hit 61, which is still 10 shy of the normal and well shy of the record of 88 degrees. Here's the reason why. We right now are in a position with the jet stream that the dry and warm weather is off to the east of us, the cool and showery weather to the west, and that's going to keep us a bit on the unsettled side. You can see in between, you get the shower and thunderstorm activity that moved through here yesterday with our rain and snow. Here comes the next weather maker to the west of us, and that will arrive here coming in Thursday in the form of a storm system coming our way from Nevada. The storm we had last night's moving away. Now tonight there will be a gradual increase in some cloud cover and even a little bit of light rain over southeastern Colorado. I think it misses us. This is the main system that will affect us in a couple of days. So along the Front Range, partly cloudy skies tonight, clear farther to the west and a few showers down